G'day kids, thanks for tuning in to another Aussie episode. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that way you won't miss out on any of the new videos we put out, and it would certainly make my day. In the meantime, enjoy this video.
Aussie, 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 oi! Aussie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of mine.
G'day Aussie. G'day Aussie. G'day Aussie. G'day Aussie. G'day Aussie.
G'day kids, Ozzie here. Today we've come along to SEA LIFE Sydney Aquarium and we're going to learn all about these cute little birds, the penguins. That's right kids, it's super cold inside, 5 degrees. I reckon I'm going to need my jacket, but this one is going to be ice cool. Let's go and check it out. Kids, how awesome is this? G'day, I'm Ozzie.
Hey, nice to meet you. I'm Patrick.
Nice to meet you, Patrick. Well, thank you so much for having us here.
Yeah, no, you're welcome.
Well,
it's
certainly cold in here, so thanks for giving me a beautiful outfit to wear.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It needs to be cold.
Nice to see you. What temperature is it?
It's 4 degrees in here.
Oh.
It's very cold in here. As you can see, we're all rugged up. And it needs to be this cold for the birds.
Okay.
In the wild, these guys are down in Antarctica and it's cold down there.
Certainly cold.
Yeah.
So you're replicating the same type of temperature they would have in their normal, natural habitat.
Spot on. So as you can see, hello, we're standing on snow right now. Every day we put out fresh snow for them to stand on.
Oh, wow.
And they love it when we put fresh snow out. They like to lie in it, play in it, eat the snow as well.
Do they?
Yeah. Both for fun and for hydrating.
Okay, fantastic. So what kind of penguins do we have here?
So in this exhibit we have 2 types of penguins. We have Gentoo penguins, which are these fellas around us now.
Okay.
And we also have king penguins, which are larger. If you've ever seen Happy Feet, they're similar to those.
Okay.
Yep.
And how old are these penguins? Are they fully grown? Are they little? Are they different ages?
There's a variety of different ages in here. These are mostly all adults. The oldest penguin we have in here is 13 years old.
Okay.
And the youngest is 3 months. 3 months old. Yep.
So 3 months, is that penguin little, really little?
It's actually very difficult to tell them apart.
Really?
They grow up very quickly.
Do they?
Yeah. After a few months, they're almost indistinguishable from adults. They look the same as adults.
Now, I noticed that you were calling one of them by a name before. They're so indistinguishable, but how do you tell them apart?
So if you look closely, you'll see on each bird there's a wing band, a coloured wing band, and that's how we tell each bird apart.
Okay.
If it's on the left, it's a guy. If it's on the right, it's a girl. And the different colours are how we tell each individual bird.
Okay.
So for example, here we've got purple and yellow. I know that's Rita.
Rita?
Rita.
It's on the left, which means Rita is a male.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Now, did I hear somewhere that there's a penguin in here with the same name as me?
There is.
There's an Aussie here.
There is an Aussie in here. And his wing band is green and yellow. So if you can look around, you might find Aussie.
We're going to keep an eye out for Aussie. Kids, let me know if you spot Aussie. It's got green and gold, or green and yellow, just like this Aussie. Yeah. Now, I noticed that some of them have been jumping off and then jumping back up.
Yeah.
How much time do they spend in the water or on the snow?
Well, around this time of year, they spend a lot of time in the pool. In the wild, they would be out swimming kilometres offshore to go fishing.
Yeah, right.
So right now, they're in the pool a lot. At different times of the year, say breeding season, when they make nests, they might stay on land predominantly.
Okay.
Most of the day spent on land.
Okay.
But they are water birds, they love it in the water.
Yeah.
And if you see them, they're just floating around having a good time.
Yeah. They look like they live
love
a
it in
very
there.
relaxed life
Yeah.
in the water there.
Yeah.
I've seen some of them swim though. They can go pretty quick.
They are amazing swimmers.
Yeah.
Particularly our Gentoo penguins.
Okay.
They can get up to speeds of 37 kilometers per hour.
37 kilometers.
Yes.
That's faster than I can run.
Oh yeah. They turn.
Faster than I can drive because I drive pretty slow.
They turn into missiles in the water. They
Yeah,
are
right.
amazing to watch. And some of the bigger birds, the emperor penguins, they're the largest species of penguin.
Okay.
They've been clocked diving 560 meters underwater. They
Wow.
are amazing swimmers.
That's incredible.
And they can hold their breath for up to 20 minutes.
20 minutes. So they
20
take one
minutes.
big long breath.
One big breath, and then they
They
hold
dive down 500 meters.
straight down.
And what about the kings and the gentoos? How deep can they go?
These guys can go 200 meters.
Okay.
They often don't. They usually stay within 30 meters
Okay.
of the surface, but if they really want to, they can go down.
Right.
Yeah.
And do they do that to find different types of food?
Yes.
So what do they eat?
So in the wild, these guys mostly eat krill, which are a small, almost like a prawn.
Okay.
That's the bulk of their diet, but they also eat small fish, squid, things like that. In here, we do feed them a range of fish,
Wow.
different sizes, and they have preferences.
I'm sure they do. Fussy
yeah,
eaters. All these
they
animals
are fussy eaters.
seem to be very fussy eaters.
Yeah. So it's almost like feeding them their vegetables. Sometimes we need to feed them the healthier fish first before we give them the treat fish.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. What's their favourite fish?
Whitebait. Whitebait, they're small, really, really fatty and tasty.
Oh, yum.
And sometimes we'll throw fish out into the water for them to catch
Yep.
on their own. And when we throw whitebait and they're hungry, they'll turn the water white. They'll just,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They're moving that quick,
Yep.
stirring up the water.
Yep, they love it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, how many penguins do you have here?
In here, we have 41.
41
penguins in this exhibit.
Okay.
Yes,
Um,
quite a few.
And so you said one of them's 3 months old, is that right?
Yep.
And so was that penguin born here?
yes, born
Great.
here, along with 6 other penguins,
Brothers and sisters?
brothers and sisters,
Yep.
all at the same time.
Wow.
So last year we were lucky enough to get 7 baby Gentoo penguins.
Wow. So you got 41 penguins and 7 of them were born around the same time, about 3 months ago.
Yep.
And you said one of them's name is Ozzie.
Correct.
Does that mean they've all got individual names?
They all have their own names and they all have their own personalities as
Wow.
well. Right here, for example, Rita.
Rita.
Rita is a people penguin. So some penguins like coming up to people, and as you can see, he's comfortable being
hanging
near
around
us,
here.
just being near us.
Yep.
And he is quite a playful bird. And if we bring out toys, which we sometimes do, to play with them,
Yeah, right.
he is always the first in line. He will be there to play
Yeah.
with the toys.
Loves having fun.
Yeah.
And who's this little
This
girl
lady,
over
this
here?
is Chop.
Chop.
Chop. She's one of our bigger girls.
Okay.
Very food motivated.
Very food motivated. Okay, hence the size.
She loves to swim.
Okay.
She is usually in the pool quite a bit. Let's see, Tasman over by the water.
Okay.
He quite often sings on command. Hello. Hey, gonna sing? Go on, sing. Yeah. And with their personalities, there are relationships and pairings.
Okay.
So we have a couple here called Magic and Sven.
Magic and Sven.
Magic and Sven, and they are a very strong couple. They often go around the exhibit together, and they've nested together for years.
Okay.
They're a strong couple.
All right. Yeah. Oh, hello.
Right here we have one of our king penguins.
Look at that, kids.
This is Forrest.
Hello, Forrest.
Hello, Forrest.
Do you like to run? Like
no.
Forrest Gump?
He's on an adventure right now. He's looking
He
for the rest of the
certainly
kids.
is.
Where are they? Hey, you're looking for them. So he has a purple band on his left, and that's how I know he's Forrest.
Okay. And you can see that he's a whole lot bigger than the Gentoo penguins. What
much
size
bigger.
do they grow to?
They grow just under a metre.
Okay.
Just under a metre. Yeah. Whereas the
There you go.
Gentoos are up to between 60 and 80, 60 and 90.
Okay.
These guys are around a metre. Around a metre.
Nice. Apart from the size, what's the other obvious differences between the kings and the Gentoo penguins?
Quite a few differences.
Yeah.
An obvious one, if you're in here for more than a few minutes, is behaviour. their personalities are very different.
Okay.
The king penguins, believe it or not, even though they're bigger, they're scaredy cats. They're timid.
Okay.
Sometimes I like to compare the gentoos as dogs and the king penguins as cats.
Okay.
The gentoos are a lot more confident, whereas the kings are, timid and scaredy cats. When it comes to laying an egg, the king penguins will lay one egg and then rest it on their feet.
Okay.
And then they don't build nests, so they walk around with their egg on their feet.
Wow.
Whereas the gentoo penguins, they will make a nest out of pebbles, and then the parents take turns looking after the egg.
Okay. So it's not just the female that stays with the egg.
No,
The male stays with the egg, and the other one goes out and gets food. Is that what happens?
Exactly. In the wild, they take turns, equal turns.
Okay.
And while one of them is looking after the egg, the other is out fishing,
Okay.
bringing food back.
Right. And how do you breed them in here? Do they just do the same thing? They build a nest out of rocks?
Yes, pebbles.
Pebbles?
So around breeding time, you start seeing the signs. They'll start pairing up and start flirting with each other.
Okay.
And around that time, we bring out empty nests for them, and we put them around the exhibit.
Okay.
And then, probably my favorite time of year, we bring out a lot of pebbles, and we just tip the pebbles into the middle, and all the birds come running, and they'll grab the pebbles and they'll take them back to their nest.
Build their own
And they
nest.
build their own nest.
Awesome.
And it's very cute. They will grab a pebble and take it back to their partner and bow, and gracefully give a pebble to their partner, and it's like an "I love you" sort of thing. It's very cute.
Very, very cute.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, how many eggs would they lay and have in those nests?
So Gentoo penguins lay 2 eggs.
2 eggs?
2 eggs every year, and kings just lay 1.
One
Just
for the
lay one.
kings, 2 for the gentoos.
Yep.
Okay. And how long will it take for those eggs to grow and hatch?
So it takes. They can be loud.
Yeah.
It takes around 35 days
Okay.
for the egg to go from being laid to hatching.
Okay.
And then from hatching, a bit over a month before they're full size, and then they lose all their baby feathers, and
Okay.
then they look like an adult.
Okay. So when they come out, they've got feathers all over them.
Yes, very,
Baby feathers.
very soft feathers
Yep.
when they're born. They're about this big
Okay.
when they're born. From memory, I think they're around 80 grams, 70 grams.
Wow.
Which is
Very
very
small,
little.
very
they can fit
small.
in your hand.
Yeah.
when they're-
Wow. Imagine a
when they're
penguin
born.
fitting in your hand, kids.
And very
Amazing.
soft, very fluffy.
Yeah.
But when those feathers are really, really warm, but they're not waterproof yet.
Okay.
So they can't go in the water, and they can't go on snow. So they stay in their nest, protected by their parents, and they keep them warm, and the parents bring them food.
Okay. Now, how do the parents bring the food back? They just put the fish in their beak and then bring it back and drop it in?
No. Now it's a bit yucky when they bring their food
Oh.
back. So they'll eat the food.
Okay.
The parent will eat the food, and then come back and then vomit it back up,
Wow.
and then vomit the food into the chick's mouth.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's an
It is
amazing
amazing.
thing.
It's also kind of yucky.
It's kind of yucky, but hey, that's
Yeah,
how it's done in the
that's
penguin
nature.
world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it works.
So now these guys can walk around, they can swim, can they fly?
They cannot fly.
So they're a bird, but they can't fly.
Exactly. Although when they're in the water, you could say they're flying through the water.
Right.
They are incredible.
Looks like
in the
they're
water.
flying.
Yeah. So their wings have adapted to be flippers, essentially. They're very dense. Normal birds have air in their bones, so they're really, really light, so they can fly. Penguins don't have that. They're dense, full of muscle, and
Really thick and
yeah.
heavy.
And also they've got a thick layer of blubber, which is fat,
Right.
to keep them
Keeps them warm. Yep.
because it's very cold, and they don't have these, thick jumpers.
Poor things.
They are adapted very well to the cold and water.
Love it.
Oh, we've got Ozzie over here.
Is that Aussie?
That's Ozzie.
Can we get closer?
You can get closer. Ozzie.
Aussie.
Hey, Ozzie.
Aussie, Aussie,
Hello.
Aussie.
Ozzie,
Kids,
come
that's
over here.
Aussie. Aussie's gonna meet Aussie. So, Patrick, how much do you interact and how much, well, you can't pick them up and hold them, right?
Obviously, you can't pick them up. They're not a fan of being picked up.
So are they singing?
Yes, they're singing. And those two are a couple.
Oh,
so those
right.
two are singing to each other.
Okay.
As
singing love songs to each other.
Exactly.
And what are their names?
That's Buddha.
Buddha,
Buddha. Yep. And that's banjo.
Banjo,
Banjo.
Banjo
Like
and
the
Buddha.
instrument. Banjo and Buddha.
What a beautiful couple you make, Banjo
Yeah.
and Buddha.
Yeah. So in terms of interacting with them,
Yep.
we don't do all that much direct contact. They don't like being held.
Right.
They're not pets. They are wild,
Yes.
even though they're in our care. However, we do what we call enrichment, which is a nice way of saying we play with the birds.
Okay.
We'll bring out like dog toys or bubble machines or ropes or like just enrichment, things that they find exciting, and
Yeah.
they will play with the toys.
Awesome.
Yeah, and some birds play with them more. For example, Rita, who we saw earlier,
Yeah.
he is always the first one in line.
Okay, yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to meet Ozzie over here.
Yeah.
Ozzie, do you want to be on camera?
No.
Ozzie's shy. That's okay. Not everyone likes to be in front of camera.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've met Rita, Ozzie, Buddha, Banjo. Can you say all their names? Surely you don't know all their names off the top of your head.
Oh, I do.
You do?
I know all their names.
Go for it.
Go for it. Okay. Cosmo, Ozzie, Jefferson, Magic, Buddha, Stephen, Tasman, Rita, Pink Lady, Jeffrey, Woody, Macquarie, Benito, Nella,
Come
Yuki.
on.
I could go on.
You could go on. That's incredible.
Yeah.
There's some
You-
really cool names there.
There are.
So who gets to name these beautiful animals?
Well, the ones that are born here, we get to name.
Wow.
Some of the names are Yuki, some of the chick names, Yuki, which means snow in Japanese.
Okay.
Some of them mean things, others are just cute names.
Cute names, like Ozzie.
Like Ozzie.
Yeah.
Nicolaj, that's one of the new chick names.
Nicolaj.
Nicolaj. For
Oh,
any
very
fans
fancy.
of Brooklyn Nine-Nine up
Okay.
there, that's a reference to that TV show.
There you go. So have you named one, Patrick?
I haven't yet. Hopefully, if there are chicks this year, I might get the chance to name my very own bird.
Have you got a few names up your sleeve?
Ooh.
Or you're not allowed to give that away just in case people
that's
steal that
classified.
name?
That's classified.
You can tell me later. And kids, I'll tell you maybe. Maybe. Just Patrick's secret though. And look, who's this?
This is Parky.
Parky is very
Parky
cheeky.
He's very cheeky.
He's just undone your pants
He's
there.
just undone the Velcro on my pants. If he sees Velcro done up, often he will come and undo it.
Oh, you can't see my Velcro, otherwise I'd let you have a go. So we've seen some cheeky ones, some playful ones, some shy ones. What's your favourite? Who's your favourite? Do you have favourites? Are you allowed to have favourites?
It's hard. I'd like to say I don't have favourites and being a good parent to the birds, but I do have my favourites.
Yeah. If you tell me quietly, they won't hear, so.
Yeah, don't let them hear. Karen?
Karen.
Karen.
Patrick's a fan of Karen.
Karen is the sweetest bird.
Yeah.
When Karen was little, just out of the egg, just under a month old, I had the opportunity to care for her, and I sat down in her enclosure that she was in, and she came up and lay down in my lap.
Wow.
And fell asleep in my lap.
Wow, that would have been a special moment.
It was a very special moment,
Yeah.
and I've been close to her ever since.
Yeah, I bet you have.
Yeah.
Like a father figure.
Yeah.
little
She's just
Karen.
down there, actually. Black and red is Karen.
Black and red. Oh, okay.
On the edge of the
Standing
water.
on the platform.
It's hard to tell, but she is only 3 months old.
3 months.
3 months, and she looks almost the same as all the adult birds.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very. Someone like myself, I wouldn't know the difference between the adult and the kids. It's babies, really. 3 months old is very little.
It's very subtle. You might see her eyes around the side of her eyes. There's no white.
Okay.
Whereas on the adults, the white band on their head goes all the way around their eyes.
Okay, yeah. Yep, like these
that's-
guys. Yep.
That's one way you can tell.
Between the adults and the babies.
Yeah.
So, Patrick, I read something about two males, Magic and Sven.
Yep.
Yeah, and they're two male penguins that have raised chicks. Is that right?
That is right.
Okay.
That is right. So we have a pair, and we call them our celebrity pair.
Okay.
Magic and Sven. They're both guys, and 1 year around breeding season, they were building a very nice nest, and they were incubating like chunks of ice, almost as if they were eggs.
Wow.
And we thought, wow, they're showing really good parenting behavior. Let's try give them a dummy egg, like a pretend egg. And they were caring for it really, really well.
Wow.
So we thought these guys could be great parents for our chicks. So we gave them a foster egg that had been left by an actual male-female pair.
Right.
A fertile egg we gave to Magic and Sven, and they looked after it extremely well, and it hatched. Lara was the baby that Lara was the baby that hatched, and they nurtured it up to adult, and they were probably the best couple.
Amazing.
Yeah, amazing.
Celebrity couple, Magic
Celebrity couple.
and Sven.
Oh. The chick that they had, Magic and Sven, is called Svenjik.
Svenjik.
Svenjik. It's a combination
blend
of
Magic and Sven. I
Svenjik.
like it. That's a good name.
Yeah.
Very
So
clever.
They have some books written about them, some
Really?
some news articles.
Oh, cool.
That's why they're the celebrity penguins.
All right. So there's a book that I can maybe get hold of and read to the kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
Svenjik.
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 Beautiful. Now, what's a baby penguin called?
A chick.
A chick?
A chick.
Cool. What's a group of penguins called?
Depends on if they're on land or if they're in water.
Wow.
On land, they're called a waddle of penguins.
A waddle.
A waddle of penguins. And in the water, they're called a raft.
A raft?
Yeah, because as you can see, they float.
Patrick, I see you're holding a bucket there full of their favourite fish, which is whitebait. Is that right?
That is correct.
And that's why they've all gathered around there. They all seem pretty excited.
They're very excited.
And so where do we feed them? Do we feed them on the land? Do we feed them in the water?
These fish we throw into the pool.
Oh, wow.
And we've trained them to get into the pool when we want them to.
Okay, and
so
how do you do
when
that?
I throw this in, I'm going to go woo, 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 just really loud and high-pitched, and they will all come running in. You can join me if you want.
I'd love to join you.
So-
You got to lead, show me
Okay.
how it's done,
Ready?
and I'll have a go.
3, 2, 1.
I like it.
Look at them all.
Look at them go. That must be some tasty fish there, Patrick.
Oh yeah, it's their favourite. They love it.
So how often would you feed them every day?
So we do 2 main feeds a day, and if they're particularly hungry, we might do a bunch of smaller feeds in between those,
Okay.
like snack times,
Yep.
and that's what this is.
So is there a day that they're ever not hungry? Like surely they just like food anytime you give it to them.
They are almost always hungry.
Yeah, I bet.
There are some days, like once a year, they go through molt, which is when they lose their feathers.
Okay.
Hello. And when they lose their feathers, or when they are swapping out their feathers, they can't go in the water, so they don't swim.
Okay.
And in the wild, if they don't swim, they don't eat.
Right.
So beforehand, they will fatten up and they'll eat lots and lots and lots of food, and then they won't eat for 2 weeks.
2 weeks without food?
2-3 weeks without
Wow.
eating. Yep.
I don't know if I could do that.
No, it's very impressive.
Very.
Yeah.
Now, that looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Can I try and feed a penguin?
You may. Go for it.
All right. Do I need to make the woo-woo sound, or are they're all in there? They
They're
don't need
already
that.
in there.
Look at that, kids. Yummy, yummy white bait. Here we go, penguins. Not for me.
Parky here will eat these off the ground. So, hey Parky, you want to?
So there's a few of them that do eat off the ground. That's cool.
That's Ozzie.
Ozzie, there's Ozzie. Now, Patrick, what are some fun facts that you can tell Ozzie and the kids at home about penguins?
Well, here's a fun fact. Also a gross fact.
Kids love gross facts.
Yeah, who doesn't? Penguins, these guys, they poop 4 times every hour.
4 times every hour.
4 times an hour.
That's a lot of time on the toilet, but
Yep.
in their case, it's just wherever they are, right? In the water, on the land.
Everywhere.
Okay, that makes your
And-
job pretty difficult because you've got to clean all this up, right?
Yes, and so 4 times an hour, there are 41 birds. That's a lot of cleaning.
Do the maths, that's a lot of
That's
poops.
a lot of cleaning.
A lot of poops.
Yep.
So now that they're up here on the land,
They will jump in.
I'm going to see if I can do the woo 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 and get them to jump in the water. All right, ready, penguins? Woo, 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 woo! Look at that, kids. Woo, 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 woo! This is so much fun. I can
Like
see why
a
you guys.
professional.
I can see why you guys work here. Hey, what a great way to spend your days.
I know, it's great fun.
Very, very lucky.
Yeah.
So kids, if you love spending time with penguins like Patrick, then hey, you come along and work here at SEA LIFE Sydney Aquarium.
And you
Have
could be
as much
doing
fun.
this one day.
Absolutely. You got to practice on your woo woo woos, woo woo woo. So Patrick, I just want to say thank you so much for allowing Ozzie to come along and bring the kids
You're more than welcome.
to learn lots about these beautiful penguins, your little babies that you get to spend every day with.
Yes.
What a job.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
It's great
fantastic.
fun.
Kids, I hope you've learnt lots. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you want to come and meet these guys, then SEA LIFE Sydney Aquarium, this is where we are, and this is where you'll find these amazing, beautiful penguins. Now, we've given them a snack, but I think it's time for their real feed time, so I'm going to get out of here and let them have a feed. We'll see you in our next video. Until then, stay keen.
Bye.
If you haven't already, make sure you get a grown up to help you hit that subscribe button. That way you won't miss out on any of the new and exciting videos that we put out. Speaking of new and exciting, if there's a video that you'd love to see Ozzie do, make sure you send us a message on our socials, on Facebook or Instagram at Aussie for Kids. We'll see you again soon, kids. And until then, stay keen. Oh, and by the way, did you happen to find the hidden Aussie icon in that video? Yeah, make sure you look closely because they're in every single video. That's right. Stay keen, kids.
Aussie, 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 oi! Aussie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of